Congratulations. How does it feel today to be a newest recipient on the Hollywood Rock Walk?
Man, I'm in a state of euphoria. I mean, it's so great. It's indescribable. I recommend everybody get one of these.
In your lifetime, you've made so many contributions to music. Did you ever think that today would ever happen to you?
No, I never thought it would, because you got so many greats that's been honored this way, you know, and to be considered and to be recognized, it's an awesome thing. I mean, unbelievable. It really is.
Many of your friends were here today. What was your thought about that?
Oh man, I hadn't seen some of my friends in a long time, and they're here. It brings back so many memories, wonderful memories, and they're heavyweights in their own right, you know. And for them to come out and cheer me on and support me, it's great. It's really, a lot of love was here today, man.
What about those supporters who had the salty chocolate balls?
That was awesome. That was awesome. Chocolate salty balls. You see, those young people remembered Chef, you know, and they remember a little bit about Chef, but they're the Chef fans. And it just proves that my fan base expands from 6 to 96. Because all the Hot Blooded Souls and the Isaac Hayes fans from old school to new school to South Park, and it's great.
How do you want to best be remembered?
Pull the mics down just a second. Pull just a hair down. There you go. That's good.
Okay, how's that? Good.
Perfect.
Isaac Hayes, how do you best want to be remembered in the music industry?
A guy that I guess someone who was very honest with his music, that loved his music and wanted to share it with the world, and tried to set a good example for the young people to follow, and who gave his all and who shared everything he had.
What advice would you give young music writers?
Young writers, young music writers, they need to do a little research and learn who their predecessors was, and learn whose shoulders that they're standing on, and learn from what they did, and bring some more reality into music and take a responsibility. Because when you write music, you have to be responsible, because people emulate, you influence people with your music, so you got to put the right influence into these kids' heads. And then be very honest about your music. And it doesn't have to be innovative. And I really urge the young people to learn to play real music. And sampling is great, but the copyright's already been done. Copyrights have already been done on sample music. So if you do live music, you ensure that the art will continue. But if you keep sampling, it's like a hamster on a treadmill. You get nowhere. But when you create music, when you create it, the thing continues. So you have more substance with your music, with your lyrics. And think about who you're influencing, and try to make people's lives better. You know, I have to use myself as an example. My music saved lives, made people fall in love, mended hearts. In fact, it added to the population as well. So you get all kind of thank yous from Vietnam veterans. And now veterans that were over in Iraq. So it's good. Somebody told me one time, said, Ike, you're well remembered. And what makes you so great is not only are you in the minds of the people, but you in the hearts of people. So that's, I didn't try, but it happened that way. So I had to look back and see, what did I do? And I realized that I was very honest with my music. If I hurt, I lamented, I wrote about it and sang about it. And it was like a human experience. That's why people could relate so easily to it. Because I wasn't trying to be heavier than thou or bigger than, I just, I was just a human. And that's why people could relate to it so easy.
During the ceremony, I heard you say one tender moment. You remembered a relative who was 105 years old. Would you talk about that? He said last question.
Oh. The person I remembered was my grandmother. She was my mentor, and I love her. And I saw this old lady struggle a lot when I was growing up. My grandfather died in 1953, so I had to become the man of the family. And she kept her hand in my back, and don't give up. She always told me I was going to be somebody. And you know, I had a chance to honor her when I won the Oscar in 1972, and she was my date. And I prayed to God to keep her alive so I could thank her the way that I wanted to. And she was my date, and I thanked her in front of millions of people around the world. And then I gave her the Oscar. And it was an awesome moment for me. And but she lived until she was 105. And I wrote a poem to her when I heard that she had passed, because I was in New York and she was in Memphis. And I wrote this poem, and I'm going to put it in when I write my autobiography, I'm going to put this poem to my grandmother. It's called My Grandmother, My Heroine. And it says it all.
Okay, thank you.
Real quick.
Okay,
His
just
manager wants to
really quickly,
go.
we know you as a musician, an actor, and a writer as well. What do you have coming up right now, acting-wise, music-wise, and writing-wise?
Well, acting-wise, I did some things on Sci-Fi Channel. I'm a sci-fi nut. So I did 3 guest appearances on Stargate, which is coming up, and I did a movie called Anonymous Rex. It was a pilot, and with Faye Dunaway, and one of the Baldwin brothers, Daniel Baldwin. And I got my agents working. I'm going to be doing some more movies and things like that. And as far as music is concerned, I'm working on a new CD to be released sometime next year, early spring, late spring or early summer. And people want that because I hear it everywhere. I'm working on a children's book, a series of kids' books. And the purpose is to inspire kids to read and become educated. See, everybody can't be an athlete, can't be a basketball player, football player, can't be a rap artist. So there are other things they can do, and use your brain. That's why I'm trying to inspire these kids to do that. And these books, I think, will be quite inspirational. So, and I've got doing some other things like food lines and all this kind of stuff. So I'm busy, and I'm glad I'm busy. I'm still doing concerts and things. I'll keep doing that. And always thinking of something new to do.
Okay, thank you so much. When are we going to see the first children's book?
Well, maybe sometime next year. Publishers get it, and then they'll do what they need to do with it.
Great, thank you.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
Thanks,